This is the DeWALT 20V Max cooler and air cooler because it does both. You can still use it as your typical drink cooler, store your lunch in there if you want to. You can also use this as a portable air conditioner, even though it's not an air conditioner. But let's talk about what this is as well as how it works. Specifically, this is the DeWALT model number DXAC N01B as in boy. So this is a bare tool. There's no battery that comes with it, no charger that comes with it, just the air cooler. Now sizing on this, just to give you an overall size, is going to be right at about almost 26 inches long when you include the handles on either end. And height on this is a little over 17 inches or right at 17 inches. And front to back, right about 16 inches, a little less than 16 inches. On the rear, you get these 5-inch wheels on the back. On the front, you just have some stops or some feet it sits on. So it's not going to roll around like casters, but with the integrated handle, pull the handle out, and then you can walk around with this very easily just by lifting up and rolling it on the wheels. And then that tucks away right there. You can even remove this handle if you need to just by pressing it out. So it's just kind of friction fit, but it holds in there nicely. On the rear of the cooler, nothing spectacular other than just have your hinges and your DeWALT logo, but no drains or anything else. And then there's your other rear wheel. Then on this side, really nothing here either, other than this is your supply duct or your supply plenum or where the air actually comes out of this. You can see there are spring-loaded doors here. So if you don't have the fittings plugged into there, it's just going to block that. Nothing's going on. So it's allowing basically that to stay sealed from the outside element so it doesn't get inside your cooler. And here back on the front side, down here low, we have the drain. So it makes it easy for you to actually just pull that. So it's just a rubber plug that pushes into there so you can drain any liquid when you're done with it. We also have the large integrated latch. It's easy to unlock and then be able to lift the lid. Here on the top, on the handle end, is the large translucent cover. It says 20V Max. This is obviously where you're going to plug in your batteries. Any of the batteries are going to fit, even your large FlexVolt batteries. You do not have to run a FlexVolt battery. You can run a regular, small 20V Max DeWALT battery. So even down to your, small 2 amp hour, 4 amp hour batteries are going to be fine. It's just you're going to get less runtime on those. But the FlexVolts are going to have no problem fitting either. So that's your battery cover and your battery compartment. Also here on top in the middle of the lid are 2 cup holders that are integrated right there into the lid. And then we've got our controls right here. Right here are the controls for the unit. You have a large rotating switch right here from 0, 1, 2, and 3. That's going to control your fan speeds or your cooling output. Right here we have a power button and then a USB port. So this is where you can actually charge devices, and we have a nifty little integrated stand right there to be able to either vertically or horizontally store your electronics. So whether it's your tablet or your phone, have a nice ledge right there. So power button for the Type-C charging. Turn that on, that green light's going to come on, and then we can turn that off. That also turns on our display right here as well. And it tells us it's 92.3 degrees Fahrenheit, which it absolutely feels like it. It also tells us this is the temperature and this is without the hose. So it knows that we do not have the hose plugged in here. Then we have a power button right here. And this is actually going to control the cooling. And I'm curious if one of two things. Either because this is not powered up, this won't power up. So that's what it is. So I have to have a fan selector switch on before I can turn on the cooling. And let's show you what the cooling actually does. So a couple of cool features here. I'm going to raise the lid. And you see that it actually kind of raises on its own once I get it started. And that's because we have this charged gas cylinder right here. That's going to, number one, kind of dampen things as well as automatically let you raise the lid or aid in doing that. Also, you probably noticed when the lid opened, this right here, this is basically a coil, probably aluminum or copper coil, definitely some aluminum in there, maybe some copper tubing as well. But this is actually aiding in cooling, and we'll dive into that deeper here in just one moment. Let's see what's coming with this. So inside the cooler, when you get it, is this short hose right here, a long hose, and another long hose. And you also get this splitter. And then this is the supply that actually plugs straight into that rectangle port that we already looked at. And it also comes with one ice pack. So you can use ice packs or you can use ice to cool this down. Let's talk about how it works. So you can see the coil here, and obviously we have kind of a line set that comes down here and then it runs down to the bottom of this cooler. Looks like a pretty typical drink cooler or ice cooler, right? Well, when this comes down, I was looking for like a grill or something. I didn't see it, but what I found out was there's a big gap right here that they kind of cut right there. And what that is allowing is for water, ice cold water, to enter here. So there's a suction tube and a return tube that is pulling up ice water, circulating it through this coil to cool the air that the unit is actually pulling through it. So the fan, which is up here in the lid, is actually pulling that air across this coil like an air conditioner, except we don't have, sub-freezing refrigerant in here. We have near freezing water in here. So we're not going to get down into, 40-degree air, but we probably are going to get into 50, 60-degree air from the ice water circulating through this coil that's being picked up from the bottom down here. So in addition to having ice in here, we have to have a certain amount of water in order for it to be able to circulate through here and stay cold. Now let's take a look at these internal dimensions. Right at 20 inches and 11 inches tall and about 12 inches wide. So 11 by 12 by 20. Now I believe the instructions said fill this up with 35 pounds of ice. I don't believe 35 pounds would fit in here. We have 32 and we have the ice pack. I'm going to utilize both of these. By the way, I already froze this ice pack. I put water in here, probably too much water. That's why it's bowed all out. And I'm going to integrate both of these, and then I'm going to explain what's going to work the best. And by the way, if you read the instructions, not that we usually do, but it explains kind of part of the process I'm going to tell you. It says in the instructions, don't break up your ice. In other words, if it's large pieces like this, just leave them alone because that'll aid in longevity. And that's also a reason why I'm incorporating both the ice packs and the actual ice cubes or ice capsules, whatever they are. Now, in addition to the ice, I mentioned that we also need water. And again, if you're looking to extend the life of your ice, I'd recommend going ahead and chilling this water. Get it as cold as possible. And you can even, the instructions will tell you, you can actually add salt to this as well. I'm not so much a huge believer that it would help in this scenario, because what salt does is it lowers the temperature of the freezing of ice. In other words, it will help ice to keep from freezing and have a lower temperature of the water before it does so. I think this is always going to be heating, if you will, and melting. So I don't see how that's going to work that great. But anyway, we've got our water in here now because the water is going to circulate through here, create the cold air. We've got our ice in here. Why does it matter that this ice is in a huge clump or whether it's in one block? Which, by the way, if you can buy ice blocks, solid ice blocks, that will give you your longest run time as well as the ice pack. So if you're looking for run time length that you're going to get of cold air, not necessarily battery pack, but cold air, then stick with just, running 4 or 5 of these ice packs in here with the water, and that's going to give you your longest run time. Or with an ice block. It's all about surface area. The coldest ice is what they call flake ice, or those small little tiny capsules, and you have 1 million of them in your cup or in your Coke. And that's going to make things the coldest, the quickest, because it's all about surface area. How much area of the ice is the drink, the fluid actually contacting, and that's going to be the coldest of any of the ice, is the one with the most surface area. Now, also, it's going to be the fastest in melting because, again, more heat across that surface area is going to melt that ice. So big blocks are going to last longer, not be quite as cold, and small flaky ice or small little nugget ice, things like that, is going to be the coldest the fastest. So this is interesting, right? Because I'm trying to close the lid. We're not even full. I only use 32 pounds of ice, and we don't have a spot for this to close, don't have a spot for this to close. I'm curious if it's even going to close with this ice block in here. And there we go. Now we have our ice in, our lid closed, we've got our water in. Let's go ahead and power this thing on. We'll go ahead and hook up our, I'm going to call it our supply plenum. Temperature still 93.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Sure feels that way. I'm going to turn that on. It doesn't turn on because I don't have the fan on yet or the master switch on. Just going to turn this on 1. So this is actually not a button. It just has the light indicator there, and it has a little snowflake, but that is the power button. So I will tell you, seat of the pants feel, this feels absolutely phenomenal. It feels like 30 degree air. I know it's not 30 degree air, but it's probably, I would say 60. So let's see here. Oh, wow. I am so wrong. 48. I did not have any idea that we would be getting down into even close to the 30s with the air. So right now we're at 46 degrees, kind of stable. I'm blown away. I really am. I did not think we'd get that low. Now, again, we're kind of at prime conditions, right? We've got a block of ice in there. We've got a lot of granular ice or regular cubed ice in there, whatever you want to call that, cylindrical ice. And we've got water in there. But again, best case scenario, our ice is brand new. There's plenty of it. So that is going to change throughout the day. As that ice gets lesser and lesser, the water will tend to warm up a little. It shouldn't get too warm until all the ice is gone, but you will see that start to creep up. Don't think your prime condition is going to be that way all the time. But still very impressed that we're getting 46 degrees Fahrenheit out of this, or 8 degrees Celsius. And you can see that the temperature continues to go down here. I'm not sure where it's measuring that. I'm assuming maybe right here. I'm not sure what that's telling us, but I guess it still will give you a temperature differentiation, right? Of it's 71, I guess, right here. And we started at in the, mid-90s, something like that. So again, coming down, 20 plus degree split right now. Just to give you a better indicator, I've got my infrared here, and 93 on the outside of the cooler. So it's reading 70s there on that plenum, which surprises me with that cold of an air exhausting. But yes, 75, 74 on that. But let me show you this. So yeah, 96, 92, 93. And if I get into the walls of the shop, yeah, 104, 107, 108 on the walls of the shop. So that's how much heat is radiating in here. And we're getting 40 degree air coming out of the cooler. So right now we have the selector on 1, and again, that temperature continues to fall, so that's great. Let's go ahead and crank this up to 3. So I can hear the fan ramping up, and now we got quite a bit more air coming out of the nozzle. And as we showed you, we could just put this in here and then direct that wherever we need to. Or we could put our Y on, or we could take the supply, the main supply trunk, now we have a Y connected that then we can hook the longer hoses onto and be able to bend those wherever we need. So if we got a buddy, coworker that we want to make cool, we can be the real nice guy. Give him one, her one, give me one. Got to keep me cool. So several different options you can do with the air cooler. And just so you know, these long ones are going to extend about 4 feet. and then collapse them back down, throw them in the cooler, and store them away. Again, temperature continues to drop here at 64.7. And also, I just wanted to see maybe a temperature differentiation between running a long hose versus right out of the air cooler. And it looks like 56 degree air, which is honestly kind of where I thought we would be initially out of the supply. So we're still getting great cool air, and that'll probably continue to drop as long as this thing runs, because I really just hooked it up and it's been, you know, in the hot shop. So all this black plastic has absorbed that heat. It's going to cool that down and probably continue to get cooler, or maybe not. It looks like it's fluctuating around 56 or 7. But again, I think that's impressive, because feeling 56 degree air on you when you're sitting in a 110 degree shop, that's a huge plus. Now we've been running this, I don't know, probably 25, 30 minutes now. Let's take a look here. That's interesting. It does stay running when I lift it up. I didn't figure it would. I'm going to turn it off and take a look at our ice here. So quite a bit has melted. And again, that's going to happen initially. Once it gets down to water level, it will probably last a bit longer or sustain a bit longer. Right now, we just had hot air in here and everything else, and it's circulating that air as well, because it's pulling that air across that coil, and the ice is melting going through, and it's returning that warmer water as well. I wish I could get a temperature on the return of the water, because that'd tell us kind of the heat split of the water, how much it's, you know, drawing down the heat out of that water. That would be interesting to know. Not that it's a big deal. But anyway, so we did get an initial melt here, 25 minutes or so. So I would say if you had some ice blocks in here, like this ice pack, and, you know, this is 32 pounds of ice. So that's 2 16-pound bags, or, you know, something like, you know, 4 or 5 5-pound bags. Those are running several dollars a piece. So it's not, you know, a $1 or $2 fix each day. It is going to cost you a few bucks when you're buying the ice, unless, again, you're freezing your own, which that would eliminate that. Then you just need to add your water and you're good. But does it work? Absolutely. Is it blowing cold air? Absolutely. Is it going to help, you know, keep you cool, rather than being 120 degrees and keeping you cooler than that? Absolutely. But it's not going to cool the shop, right? It might cool the cab of your truck, the cab of your van, maybe even your tent, or, you know, a small camper, but it's not meant to be an air conditioner. I do want to make one note. All of this I've been rather impressed with this unit. I like the build quality of it. I like the gas strut right here. That's a nice touch. I wish there were a rubber seal. I think that would have been, I don't know, you know, we always think that manufacturing's somewhat easy, but I realize there's more to it than just speaking. But I would love to see a rubber seal here, so that when maybe there's a lot of water in here, it's not going to slosh out and you know, get water everywhere. And that would also aid in keeping everything kind of cooled, if you will, and not heat being intrusive into the ice. That's really it. Other than that, I mean, you could talk about premium features and things like that all day long. But as far as anything that really stuck out to me, very impressed with the build quality of this. So that's a wrap for the DeWALT 20V Max air cooler. I call it an air conditioner right now. 50 degree air blowing across my face. I'm good with that. Hey, pricing on this is $299, but that's bare cooler or bare tool. It comes with all the kind of accessories you've seen, but it doesn't come with a battery or a charger at $300. So is it an investment over a typical cooler? Yes, arguably, unless you're buying some other real high name brand cooler. How well does the cooler work? Pretty good. I don't know. We didn't test that part of it, but you can still put your drinks and your lunch in it as well. Again, runtime is going to be very dependent upon what type of ice you're running, the conditions of the air, and, you know, how fast you're running it, how many tubes you're running, all of that. A battery runtime on a 5 amp hour 20V battery, you're probably looking at a couple of hours of runtime. Again, depending on, you're going to have it on 1, 2, or 3. Also, as well as what are your conditions and what are you doing. But again, plan on a couple of hours on a 5 amp hour battery. So you're going to need a few batteries to last throughout the day. Hey, let us know your thoughts on this air cooler. Also, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And by all means, if you hated our video, well, give us a thumbs down, but let us know in the comments why. Have a great day and keep smiling.